Hello everybody. How are you tonight? Welcome to my live. I'm starting off already feeling like I'm forgetting something. I feel a little disjointed because I haven't been on for 2 weeks. So anyway, and I just barely walked into my craft room like 3 minutes ago. Anyway, welcome. I'm glad you're joining me. Thanks for watching either now live or on the replay. I really appreciate it. It is a decent night in San Antonio. It's been kind of chilly. Hi, Renee. Thank you. A little bit chilly. It was 57 when I was driving home from work tonight in the car. So it's a little cold out here. I feel like the weather's been kind of gloomy. When we were in Houston, it was kind of gloomy and rainy. I'm not complaining because I feel like we got pretty lucky there. We only got caught in the rain one time, so that was good. Anyway, I hope everything is wonderful where you are. We're going to do our second quarter calendar class tonight. So we're going to do April, May, and June. So I'm excited about that. A lot of fun Stampin' Up! News to report. So I was in Houston for Onstage we left last Thursday morning. So it was absolutely fabulous. So fun. Really enjoyed ourselves. Lots of friends. Lots of fun. I would recommend, if you're a demonstrator, you need to go. If you're not a demonstrator, you need to become a demonstrator and go. Just super, super fun. Great way to make friends, have a good time. Plus, we got to see a lot of new stuff. I have the new catalog, which I'm super excited about. Look at this cover. It's different, right? This whole catalog, hi guys. This whole catalog is very different, and you'll see when you get this. How different it is. It's just set up completely different than what we've had before, but it's good. Lots of fun things, lots of previews. Obviously, it's always great to have the catalog and see what's coming up. So I don't know if there's much I have to share with you. I did place a pre-order while I was in Houston. I think it's coming Thursday or Friday of this week, so it's on its way, and I'll be able to show you some more fun stuff next week. Hi, Heather. How are you? I was just telling everybody what a great time we had in Houston. Okay, so, I didn't do a share contest 2 weeks ago because I was going to be gone, but this week, if you share my video, I will, put your name into, a drawing for the contest, and I'm going to give away this week the 23 to 25 in color dots. So all you have to do is share my video, either on Facebook or YouTube. And thank you. I always appreciate it when you guys share. It really helps me out. Okay, let's get started. We need to get going and making some projects. So I'm going to turn my camera around. Let me make sure my comments are coming up on. Okay, there's everybody. Hello. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. I appreciate it. Hi, Kelly. All right. So I'm going to start out by just showing you the new in colors. Have you guys seen the new in colors already? So I think the new in colors are absolutely fabulous this year. I'm super excited. Hi, Pam. So this is them. Look at these beautiful colors this year. I'm excited. To me, these are the best in colors that we've had in the past 2 times or 3 times. I love them. These colors are right up my alley. So we've got a peach pie, petunia pop, Pretty in Pink, which is a color that was there before. This is a bring back color. Hello there. How are you, Anissa? It's good to see you, Anissa. Look at Shy Shamrock and Summer Splash. So really fun colors. I'm excited. I ordered all the in color stuff in Houston, so that's going to be coming. Here's a little stamp set just to give you a sneak peek of one of the background stamp sets that they gave us in Houston. They have fun prize patrols while we're there, so you get to win some really fun stuff. I'm going to open up this paper. I haven't even opened it up yet. But this goes with, this is part of a suite, and it's kind of a Mediterranean suite, and I think it's going to be one of my favorites. I can't wait to get the rest of the things that go with it. But this paper is absolutely beautiful. Let me pull it out a little bit so you can have a little sneak peek at this paper. You've got the oranges and lemons. This is kind of, you can see how it has the Mediterranean vibe with this blue. And when you see the dies and the stamps, everything all coordinates together, pulls it all together. And this is going to be a fabulous suite. I can't wait to get my stuff and play with this. Look how pretty that is. You gotta love the cutouts, less coloring, right? Okay, so that's a little sneak peek of that. All right, so let's get to our projects for tonight. We are going to, all right, I'm just looking at the comments. I know, Lisa, the colors that are going. I always get sad when colors retire, right? It makes me sad, especially if you have some favorites in there. It's kind of a sad time. Okay, let's start by showing, we're going to work out the mini catalog tonight. So I'm going to show you the sets that we're going to use as we go along. So this is what we're going to make tonight. We've got our calendar cards. So I've got an April, May. I always say, you know, the old saying, April showers bring May flowers. I never can get that out of my head. And then I did a little beach scene from June. Now this beach scene is the same one. We do swaps. So if you go to On Stage, a lot of times we do swaps. I did a couple of different swaps. This is the one swap card that that I did for On Stage. And here's another one. I did a fun fold card, and this one just opens like that. You guys know this fun fold, right? We've done this before with this little submarine set, so that's kind of fun. So anyway, I got my inspiration for the calendar. Who doesn't love the beach, right? We all love the beach. Can't wait till summer. Can't wait to go to the beach. All right, so if you order the class this week, here's the host code, and you'll get the pre-cut cardstock to make these 3 calendar cards. I will also give you the little wooden easel for the card to sit on, so you'll get one of those. I will also give you a tear-off calendar in case you want to just use these instead of doing the stamping for the calendar, so you'll receive one of these for the 2024, okay? So this is the second quarter. We already did last time. We did January, we did February, and we did March, okay? So these are the 3 we'll work on tonight. Let me show you, let me get rid of some of this stuff, show you what we're gonna do for the first, wait a second, I just threw one away, hold on. Okay, let's start with April. Okay, so we're using this Days to Remember stamp set. This is the one we always use for our calendar cards. And I always like to say at the beginning of the videos too, that that I originally got this idea from Erica Serwin. She's one of my uplines, and she was doing a yearly kit, usually in December, where she made these type of cards. So I got the idea from her. I always like to give her credit for that. We're using the Days to Remember stamp set, and I'll show you how we use that as we go along and get into it. So the first one we're going to use is the Bright Skies bundle. This bundle, all 3 of the bundles that I'm using tonight on these are carrying over into the new catalog. So this is the Bright Skies bundle that we're going to use. Here's the fun dies that go with it. And we're going to use several of these dies. We're going to use the clouds. We're going to use the raindrops. Here's the 2 clouds that we're using. We're going to stamp and then cut out some flowers. Here's the stems and leaves. And here's the tulip die. And then I'm also using this die right here just to add a little bit to between the ground and the sky, right? Okay. I'm going to use the Scalloped Contours dies, and we're going to use this die right here to stamp our calendar in. And unfortunately, this is not one die set that's carrying over. So this is one that I'm going to be mourning. This makes me sad to lose this one because you guys know I use it all the time, right? Okay, here's our pieces for the first card. All right, so we are going to start with a 6" by 4 1/4. This is Azure Afternoon cardstock. Then we have some other pieces. We're going to take this piece. This is just 5 1/4 by 4, just to do our stamping and die cutting on. So we've got that. Now I have this little sky piece, and this is from the Bright and Beautiful DSP that goes with that kind of really cute balloon set. So we're going to use that for our sky. So that's going to go right here. And we're not going to put that down quite yet. Well, actually, we can go ahead and put that down. We might as well do it while it's in our hand. So we're going to just put this at the top. I'm just going to use a little bit of seal to attach it up there. And I think I want the lighter part at the top. So we're just going to leave a border and put it right on the top. Okay, now we're going to have to build everything else. Here's that die from the Scalloped that we're going to stamp on. We're going to stamp our April on this little scrap, and this is just 1/2" by 2" piece scrap. Now I have some other pieces. This Azure Afternoon is just 2 by 3, and I'm just using this to cut raindrops out of. That's all we're going to do is die cut the raindrops. And then this piece we're going to use, this is very bright. I know this is Parakeet Party. we're going to use this for the bottom so we have, you know, something for our flowers to sit on. And like I said, I kind of use that curvy die. So just run this through the die cutting machine, and then you'll be able to put that here. So I've already done that ahead of time. I'm trying to save time tonight with the die cutting so it doesn't take so long to get these projects done, because I feel like they took a little while to make them, and I'm not sure how long that's going to take. So we're going to end up putting that right there, and that's going to be our ground. All right. So while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to put the ribbon on and put this down, and then we'll go ahead and do our stamping. Okay. So what I used, yes, I'm finally using the blue ribbon. I bought so much of this ribbon. This is in the 3-pack. It also comes with the Bubble Bath and the Lemon Lolly, and then this Azure Afternoon. And I used the pink like crazy. I moderately used the yellow, but I wasn't using the blue at all. And I have all these rolls of blue. So anyway, we're going to use it. And I think it looks really pretty with this project. This is beautiful, beautiful ribbon. And I believe this ribbon will not be carrying over. So I was trying, you know, I feel like it's been a whirlwind since I came back. You know, of course I had to go back to work on Monday. I came home, we got home in the afternoon from Houston we drove, took about 3.5 hours. We got home in the afternoon, and I was like, all right, I need to get a class together for Tuesday. And I knew it had to be calendar because it's almost April, right? So I worked feverishly on Sunday to create these cards for this class. And then I had to cut them and do the measurement sheet and all that stuff. So I feel, do you ever feel like your life is a marathon and you just keep running, running, running? That's what it felt like this week, like a little marathon. And I don't see it letting up for a while, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I like to be busy. It's all good. Okay, so we have our ribbon. I want to make sure it's all the way to the edge. So I'm going to just scooch it over just a little bit more. And then I want it in the middle. And let me just curve it and just bring it right to the very edge right there. That's as far as we're going to be able to go with that. Okay, so we can go ahead and attach that now that we have our ribbon on. So I'm just going to use, a little bit of Seal Plus just to put that down. All right, now we've kind of got our backgrounds. Hopefully, see, there's a little bit of space between the Seal Plus up here because we're going to tuck a few things underneath there. Okay, there we go. Let's do some stamping. So let us start with the calendar, and let me I've been so busy, I used the stamps, I didn't have a chance to even clean the stamps, so let me make sure everything's nice and clean before we use it. We're going to start with the Azure Afternoon, which is what we're going to stamp our calendar in. April has 30 days, and we are going to start, let me move this out of the way before I mess it up. So when we take a look at this, the first Sunday in April is going to be the 7th. So we're going to stamp, I'm going to put it over my stamp pad from the 7th all the way to the 6th on this side. And you can see Stampin' Up! Being so smart, these fit exactly across the ink pad, right, for the 7 days. Like, wasn't it really smart of them? So that's the part we're going to stamp. But like we said, April only has 30 days, so we need to mask off the 31. So I'm going to get just a little bit of Post-it tape, and we'll just mask that off. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. Okay, starting with the 7, ending with the 6. And get just those numbers inked up. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't get anything on these 2 numbers. Just make sure. All right, then I'm going to pull off my mask, and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle of this die cut. All right, one shot, right? Here we go. Okay, I think that came out good. All righty. All right, so what else do we want to stamp? We want the April and the Azure Afternoon. So let me find it. I've got a bunch of stamps since we're using so many sets over here. Okay, inking up the April. That's going to go right on this little thin strip right here. Okay. All right, now what else do we want to stamp? So we're going to want to stamp a sun. We're going to get the Daffodil Delight, and there's a really cute sun stamp. So let's get that going. Yes, Lisa, the set is carrying over. Oh, no, the calendar set, you guys. Lisa, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. That is not carrying over. So if you didn't get this Days to Remember set yet, get one. I actually, this morning before I went to work, I ordered an extra one because it's one that I'm always going to use. It's just so handy. You can use it for years and years and years. So this is not carrying over. So this is going to be the last year that I do the calendar class like this. Not to say we couldn't do one in the future with the, you know, the little tear-offs. We could do that for sure if we wanted to, but the other Days to Remember is not going to carry over. Isn't that a cute little sun? All right, let's do some flowers. I wanted to do a couple different flowers. So I'm using Calypso Coral, Melon Mambo, and Flirty Flamingo. And I'm just going to stamp one of each of those flowers. So let's start with Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to do the one that looks kind of daisy-like. So we've got one like that. I like these bright colors. I like nice, sunny, bright colors for spring. Okay, don't yell at me for not cleaning off my stamp, but I'm putting it in the, oh, I don't want to use the Melon Mambo anyway, so never mind. I'm going to make my Tulip Melon Mambo. All right. So that's this one right here. I'm just putting these in random places because I'm just going to use the die cut then and die cut them out. And then lastly, I need a Daffodil Delight flower. And then we're going to do 3 stems. And then I believe we'll be done with the stamping. Now I'm trying to leave some room at the bottom because we have 3 clouds to cut out too with those 2 dies. So I repeated one of them and die cut those out of white. And I just left them pure white. You could shade them on the edges with a little bit of a dauber, or you could, there's some texture stamps in the set if you wanted to put some texture on your clouds. Let me show you. Whoopsie. See the texture? You could make your clouds textured if you wanted to, so you could add something like that. Or if you like it white, which would have been really fun, we could do like a white on white embossing. So just stamp this with Versamark and white emboss it, and then you have this nice design on the white clouds. But I didn't want to get too crazy. We'll be here for hours otherwise. Okay, so do all the die cutting, right? Just line up all your little dies. There's dies for all these things. So now we've got our flowers. 1, 2, 3. We've got our 3 clouds. And I think we're ready to go ahead and put this card together. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, let me get this little piece out of the way. We're going to use this again. Okay, so that's all die cut. Let's bring this back in, and we're just going to start layering. So let's start with our clouds. I'm just going to put this one down right here first with a little bit of seal. You could use glue, whatever you have. So that one's going to go there. We're going to do the one that looks just like it and put it right over here, but I'm going to pop it up with some dimensionals. Let me pull those out. And we're going to put that just a little bit lower. We're going to save a little bit of room for our sun. Oh yeah, I didn't pull out the sun. Where's the sun? There we go. And I'm just going to put the sun on with some seal. Apparently some Seal Plus, because that's what I have sitting in front of me. All right, so that's just going to kind of go behind the cloud. Except that hold on. Bad placement of dimensionals, right? Let me pull this one up and put it a little bit differently, because I don't want it to be totally off the card. I'd like it to kind of be mostly on the card. Okay. This one too, we're going to add a dimensional, and then we're going to add some seal on the other side. So it kind of sits right here. Okay. If we take this off, that would help. Okay, let's put our flowers in place. I'm just going to get out some glue for this, and we'll see how that goes, right? Oh, hold on. Time for a baby wipe. I just touched that old piece of, I have blue fingers, tape that I took off with the ink on it. Okay, let me see if I can get this going. Lisa, you're funny. Okay. Let's just attach. Let's start by attaching our flowers, the heads to the stems. And let that dry for a minute. And I'm not going to pop these up. I'm just going to put them flat on the card. And I think what I'm going to do is use a glue dot. So there we go. And one more. Whoops, hold on. Gotta love a million little pieces, right? That's fun. I do like it though. I do like playing with the little pieces, I'll be honest. Okay, let those dry for just a second and we'll do something else while we're waiting for that. All right, so we can put this on now with dimensionals. Just kind of on the top and the bottom to go over and under the ribbon. Put that right about there. We're just going to trim off our April with a pair of snips on a diagonal. And then we'll just use a little seal to put that at the top of the calendar. Right across here like that. Okay. All right. This piece then, I just cut out 2 or 3 times with the die for the raindrops, and you get all these different color raindrops, so you can fit it on here a couple of times. And then I've got a bunch of those in my little thing, so we're going to pick some of those up and glue them on once we get our flowers on. I was trying to think what I wanted to do with that. You know, I think in the new online exclusives, there's some really cute white glimmer paper, so I thought about, do I want to use that? But then I realized, oh, you didn't order that, so didn't use that. So I thought the azure would just match pretty well. And then I'm going to add a few rhinestones in between to kind of just add a little something extra. All right, so glue dots here. All right, so let's start with the yellow one. And we're going to put that one right under here. I think right about there. Okay, let's do the tulip next. Now you could go crazy and put these all the way across if you are inclined to do that. That would be cute. And this one right there. Okay, there's our flowers. So now let's just decide where we want to put some random raindrops. So I'm just going to add some little dots of glue where I think some raindrops should go. And then we'll use our take your pick just to start picking them up and setting them down. I like my raindrops to be straight. This is a good set to have too, because I don't know, I like to collect sets that have things that you're going to use. Like, I feel like I will always have a need for raindrops maybe, right? It's like unique. It's something that I could see myself using in the future, or, you know, raindrop you know, maybe you don't have that perfect embellishment for something, and you can just die cut some little raindrops in any color that you want, and it's perfect. Okay, we're almost done with that. We're almost done with the first card, as a matter of fact. And let me flip this one around so it's on the right side. Okay, do we think we have enough raindrops here? I think so. Okay, lastly, I just want to add some, hold on, I've got like 100 stamp pads out. Some little basic rhinestone jewels. So we'll just pick some of these up and kind of put them in between the raindrops. I think that looks really pretty. Gives it a little bit of sparkle. All right, do we have enough? Maybe one more, like that. All right, you guys, what do you think? That's our first card for tonight. I think that'll look cute. Now, when I set all these down at first, I thought, well, they're not to scale. They don't look good all together. But keep in mind, we're only going to be putting them out one at a time, right, on a little easel. So I think that'll be good. So that's it. There is April. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, this is what we're going to do for May. Bye, Anissa. Good to see you. Lisa says she's singing Raindrops on Roses. I love this flower cart. Did you guys get this set? I bought it a long time ago. I haven't used it. I was always thinking spring, Mother's Day. I just thought it was really pretty. So I wanted to use the flower cart for May. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get out what we need for the next one. Here is the stamp set for this. There's a nice Happy Mother's Day sentiment there. Just some really nice sentiments. The options are endless for what you can put in your flower cart. There's flowers, there's pots. You can put pots on the side. And then in addition, look at this little pebble thing. We could have put a little pebble on there too, so our flower cart wasn't just like hanging in the air, right? So we could have done that. You still can do that. And then the die, so you don't have to stamp it exactly. You could just cut it out too. So there's lots of dies in the set to cut out a flower cart. I love this little bitty, teeny tiny banner die. We're going to use one of those. This is a good set. I'm really glad that we have this set. This set will carry over into the new catalog. Okay, the other things we're using for this is, again, we're using that same scalloped contours die for our rectangle to stamp our actual calendar on. And then right here, we're using my favorite Thoughtful Expressions dies. We're going to use the largest one and die cut that out of white. Now, you guys know, as with always, all my sets, anything that's not in the bundle, I will die cut for you. So I'll die cut the scalloped rectangle. I'll die cut this for you. And sad news, this die set is not carrying over. So that made me sad because this is one of my favorites. I mean, these dies are absolutely beautiful. So that kind of made me sad. We're also going to use the Nested Essentials dies. So I just used this die right here and I cut a couple pieces of Calypso Coral. I'll do that for you in the kit if you get it. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so here are our pieces for this one. Okay. We're starting with Melon Mambo. I've got another piece of white just for doing our stamping and die cutting. So 6 by 4 1/4 Melon Mambo cardstock, okay? Our next layer is Calypso Coral, and this is 6 inches by 3 inches. That's gonna be this layer right here. Then I did something kind of naughty and I used a retired piece of DSP. So let me see what this one's called again. This is Softly Stippled, and this was in the Celebration catalog. If you get the kit, I'm going to put it in here. And this is 6 by 2 3/4. So that's going to go right here. Now, if you don't have this paper, if this is not the ones and you're not going to get the kit from me, another thing that you can do is just, instead of putting this layer, you can just take your Calypso Coral and you can just stamp on it. So what I did was I took one of the little rose stamps. This one is from the Softly Stippled roses. Okay, so I just took this rose stamp and I just stamped in Calypso Coral on Calypso Coral. just like this, okay? So you can kind of make your own DSP for the background if, you know, as an alternative, if you would like to do that. So I wanted to give you an idea for that, okay? So we've got this here. Let's just start by putting these down. These calendars make me happy. Every day when I get up, I have one by my desk, and one of the first things I do in the morning is, you know, check my email before I go to work. So I get to see it first thing every morning, and they just make me happy. All right, so that's kind of the background for this card right here. We put that aside. All right, here is this that I will have die cut for you. This is the largest one again. So this is going to kind of be our background. We're going to start by stamping on this, okay? So we'll do some stamping, and I think that's what we should do next. I have this piece that I'm not going to include. I don't know why I included that. I need to die cut these, so I'm going to set that aside and make sure I die cut those if you get the kit. And I did die cut some of these in advance. So we've got those two pieces that are die cut. We're going to stamp this little piece, again, 1/2 inch by about 2 inch for our May that we're going to stamp on. So this is stamping. This is stamping. So a lot of stamping on this one we have to do. Okay, let's get out some colors. So we are going to start with the cart. And I'm looking, hold on. Here it is. I didn't recognize it at first. We're going to start with this piece right here. And this is kind of like the wood part of the card, kind of the box of the card. So I'm going to do this in pecan pie. And I want to make sure my orientation of this is got kind of the curved parts up. All right. And I want to do this almost in the middle. So I'm just going to ink this up in pecan pie and do it, I think, right about here. So we've got that part of it. Next, I'm going to take some Memento and I'm going to put on kind of the wheels and the stand. All right. So let me get my Memento out. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to pull this down. Let's see. Can you guys still see it if I pull it down a little bit? Because I kind of feel like I need to get over it. And so I want to line this part right up to the bottom and the other wheel that's supposed to be behind right up to the bottom too. So I'm going to do that right about here. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we have a little cart for our flowers. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And now we're going to do the pieces that we have to die cut. All right, so while we have our Memento, let's stamp our May. And I'm just doing that in Memento on the Calypso Coral piece. And put that aside. Okay. All right, next we have these two flower dies. These are awesome. So, sorry, this one's dirty. Hold on a second. Let me just, I was furiously stamping last night, trying to get this stuff pre-done for the class. All right, so this is going to be the flowers. We're going to do these also in Calypso Coral. Make sure this is cleaned off. And then I chose Mossy Meadow to do the leaf part. So I'm going to start with the leaf part, okay? So let me get out Mossy Meadow. I also apologize that we're using so many different colors, but you know, use what you have. You can use any green for flower stems, right? All right, I'm going to do this a little bit lower at the bottom, but I want to make sure that you guys can see. So I'm going to start by doing the greenery, just like that. And then let's get out the Calypso Coral. I'll put the Mossy Meadow away. And then we'll put this right. You can kind of see if you get over it where these little pieces go. And there we go. So now we have our flowers for the card, and we're going to take the die cut that fits with that and die cut those out. So I'll show you after we get set up. Melon Mambo I thought would be a good color to do the canopy of the cart. And that is right here, this one right here. So I'm going to do that one. We've got lots of room on this, so we don't have to get crazy. So we've got that. Hold on. I'm sorry, thinking for a second about where I got the banner from. So we also have this little piece right here, and we're just going to die cut this little bitty banner out of it. All right, so now the only thing we have left to do is stamp our calendar part, okay? Using Melon Mambo for that too. And let's check out our dates. This time, the first Sunday is the 5th, and there are 31 days in May, so this one should be nice and easy. Let's get it lined up. All right, the 5th is right here. So we're going the 5th, just like this. So let's just get that inked up. We're going on the same die cut as before. All right, that came out great. All right, are we done stamping? I think we're done stamping for this one. Let me see if I can put this away without messing up my camera. Okay, let's put this together. So let's start building on here. Oh, I was going to show you what to cut out. So here are the dies. Let me just pull this out if I can. It's sticky. I didn't even have time to put my dies on magnets yet. So this is just going to line up and cut this out perfectly. And then the other piece in here is this piece right here. And this will cut out your flowers perfectly. So you can see how those line up just like that. Super easy. And then that's it. We've got our pieces. So here's the flowers that I already die cut. And here's the canopy. So that's nice and easy. Okay. So I want to put this right behind, and I can put it a little bit higher if I want to, because the flowers, I want to make sure I have enough room for my flowers. Okay, so I don't want to put it too low. So I think right about there is fine, and I'm just going to use a strip of seal right here to attach that. So just a little bit higher. I actually have it up at the top here, just like that. All right, I'm going to pop these up. You can see I reused a piece of cardstock when I was doing that. Let's put our beautiful flowers on next, layered, right like that. Okay, let's pop this whole thing up. All right about here, right in the middle. Okay, May, we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're just going to cut on the diagonal, keeping it simple. We don't want to get crazy, right? We've got other stuff we got to do with this set. And that we'll just put right across there. Now, I just have these two banners, and I'm just going to seal these down. They're going to stick up a little because this layer is a little bit higher. But I'm just going to have them come almost to the edges of the Melon Mambo, just to add just that little bit, I don't know, more detail to the card. And probably about like this and like that. Okay, this gets popped up again. This one I thought would be pretty because of the flowers, to add some of the brushed butterflies. Make sure I'm not out of camera. So this will be right in the middle. Okay, all we need to do is embellish. Oh wait, we forgot our cute little banner. Let's not forget that. Super cute. A couple of little tiny glue, little dots of glue here to attach our banner. Just add just a little tiny something, right? I'll just have that go corner to corner on the canopy. Whoops. Sticky fingers. Let me just hold that down for a second so the glue adheres. All right. Here's some of our butterflies. So we'll just add some of those. A couple of cute little ones. And that's it. Nice and easy, right? Okay, we did it. We have our calendar number 2 for May. Okay, you guys ready for the third one? Let's go ahead and get moving on our third card here. Let me get a drink of water really quick. Now, have you guys gotten the beach set? Because I think the beach set is super fun, super cute. This is the Beach Day stamp set. This is going to carry over. I love the fonts on this. I used the Wishing You a Beautiful Day from my swap card. I just think it's, look at these beautiful fonts. I love it. Surfboards, you can do those in multicolors. Let me pull back my card if I have it. Maybe I got rid of it. I don't know where I put it. I was going to show you again kind of what I did with it. Oh, here it is. Just some of the things, like I just stamped with StazOn on some designer series paper in the balmy blue just to do a colored surfboard. And then there's, there's beach balls, there's beach chairs. Look at this little sandcastle I haven't used yet, little bird. So many fun things with this set that you can do. A little umbrella, that would be super fun. So what we're going to be using is the palm tree, and that's part of the die set. And we're going to do this, what do you call these? Like a little lifeguard station. We're going to color that, stamp color it, and then we're going to use this die cut right here to cut it out. So we have this one. Let me just show you the dies we're going to use real quick. We're going to use a lot of these dies. Okay. So we're going to use this one to cut out the lifeguard station. This is the palm tree trunk. Okay. There's 2 palm trees. Cut out one of each of these, and then these get layered up for the palm tree. We're going to cut this out for, I'll leave these out so I can show you as we go along. The ocean and the sand. Put this where it doesn't get lost. All right. The other thing we're going to use is this time we're going to use the Radiating Stitches dies, this one right here, to frame out our calendar part of this. And then for the sentiment that says June, it's not really sentiment, it just says June. I'm going to use this one, which is the Stylish Shapes dies, this little one right here. I can't remember if these are carrying over or not. But hold on a second and let me look in the index to see. Hold on. Dies, dies, dies. And Stylish Shapes, let's see. Yep, they're carrying over. Yahoo! Because I use those all the time. So that's good news. Okay, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do our sky like we always do. We're going to cut out of a piece of basic white cardstock. We're just going to use this basic borders die, cut this out, and this is going to be our template for our clouds. Okay, so yes, we're going to do that because I love that kind of sky background. All right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do it. Here's the pieces. Okay, same, 4 1/4 by 6. This time we're using Tahitian Tide. This is one of the colors we're going to miss when it goes away, right? I love this color. Tahitian Tide right here. This is going to be for stamping our lifeguard station. This one is going to be the first layer of our card. So that's going to go right here. So we're going to build everything on this, and this is what we're going to do the sky with. So let's go ahead and start with the sky. And you guys know how we do this one. I got some, let's see if I have a better piece than that. Okay. So we don't need to go too terribly far down on this. So maybe 2 or 3. I think maybe we'll do 3 times across, should work. We're just going to line this up right here. We're going to get out our balmy blue for our sky. And we're going to get out a blending brush. Yeah, Lisa, me too. I can't believe those dies aren't carrying over, because it's my favorite set too. The Thoughtful Expression dies is what we're talking about, that they're not carrying over. Makes me sad. They were the prettiest dies, and we didn't have them for that long. Okay, so we're just going to lightly go over with our blending brush and kind of get our clouds, and we don't care if it's uneven. That looks really dark when we first do it, doesn't it? All right, layer number 2, and that kind of takes some of the starkness off the white as we get into the second layer. And I'm going to flip it again, and we'll add another layer. As much as I use this balmy blue, it's still pretty juicy. I think maybe I've added some ink recently to that. All right, this might be enough, but let's add one more layer for good measure, just to be safe and sure. It's easy, it's fast. Oh, I didn't look up these dies to see if these are carrying over the basic borders. I have to do that and figure it out, because I use this all the time. I feel like it's not, but please hold while I check, because I feel like I have to know right this very minute if those dies are going to carry over. So hold on, let me see. And that is basic borders. No, not carrying over. Our sky days are coming to an end. All right, you guys are probably getting sick of looking at it anyway. I'm sick of us doing the same thing. Okay, so now we've got this to build onto. And let's go ahead and attach that down. All right, first layer done. Now our next layer we're going to put on is, we're going to have 2 pieces of crumb cake. And let me look at the measurements for this. So one is 4 by 2 and one is 4 by 3. The 4 by 2 we're just going to use as is, and it's going to be our first layer kind of right about here. All right. Our second layer, we're going to use this die, and we're going to die cut it across, because we just want it a little bit curvy at the top. So I just kind of lined it up. This part right here does not cut, but this curvy part is the part that cuts. So I'm just lining it up like this. I ran it through the die cutting machine, and that is going to be our next layer. So we're going to have 2 layers of sand. So let me get out my piece that I pre-cut. Just like that, just a nice little curve to it. All right, so that's going to go like this, and that's going to be our second layer. To make sure that it's a little bit prominent, we're going to take a sponge dauber and use a little bit of crumb cake. Let me find my crumb cake. And I just want to do the edges a little bit with the dauber, just so you can kind of see the edges when we put it on. So I'm just going to kind of go through this. Okay, then we're going to take the little seashell. I don't know why I'm doing that. Hold on. Let's see, where is my little seashell stamp? Right here. All right, so I'm going to ink that up, and we're going to just put this in 3 places. So I'm going to have one that comes pretty close to here. So I'm going to put that one about here. And then I want these kind of closer to the curves on the top. So I'll put one here, and I'll put one about here. Now, if you wanted to put them any place else on here, you certainly could. It's up to you. You can put some here and here, so it's kind of coming off behind the calendar part. Okay, so we've got that. So these are going to be our layers here. Now we might as well finish the layers on the card. You're going to get a strip in your kit of Tahitian Tide, and this goes all the way across. So this piece of Tahitian Tide, let me see where I have it on here, is 4 by 1 1/4. Okay, then you're going to take this die, because we want this to be waves. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'm going to put, let's see, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, if you put this part at the top, then you're going to have the waves going like this, which I believe is that what we want? Or no, do it like this. Do it up at the top like this so that the scallop parts are on the bottom, okay? So then it's going to be wave. This one cuts on both sides. So it's going to kind of be wavy at the top and then the scalloped waves at the bottom, all right? And let me show you how that comes out then. See, just like this. So we had it like this, all right? And after you die cut it, you've got a little bit up here, and then you've got some waves coming in here. You're going to be able to see the white through the waves. Then I'm just going to take my pair of scissors, and I want it to be curvy along the bottom too. So I'm just going to randomly add some curves to this, just like that. Okay, so let me make sure this isn't too high. This is going to now be this layer. So we don't have that much sky showing. This is going to go right about here. Okay. So, and I almost feel like this, we might cut this layer down just a tiny bit. Let's see. I just need to make sure I'm going to have enough room. I don't really think we can cut this down. We're going to leave it as it is. Okay. So this is just going to be a little bit higher. We don't need that much sky showing. So let's just start putting our layers on and finish this backdrop. This one first, and I think right about here. I'm not going to press it too hard in case I want to move anything. I'm going to put this one on next, and I probably should have just stamped that a little bit higher, but I guess we'll just go with it this way. I'm fighting with my dauber right now. I mean, it's fine if it shows through like that. Okay, so now we've got this layer, and then let's just go ahead and put our wave layer on. And obviously you can see it needs to be cut. So I'm gonna line it up to the edge right there. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. I don't want any of the crumb cake showing through, but I think that looks pretty good. Okay, let's cut this off on the edge. Like that. Make sure it's nice and even. Okay. Now I didn't really put much adhesive. I don't think I put any adhesive up there. So let me just tuck a little bit of glue underneath there so it stays where it's supposed to stay. All right, so now we have sky, sea, and sand. I think we're all set for our backdrop. Okay. Hold that for a second. Okay. All right, other stamping. Die cutting, you're going to get a piece of pecan pie. This is for your trunk. The 2 leaves that I showed you for your palm trees. So you get those cut out. Let me bring those over so we have those ready. Trunk, 2 leaves like that. Okay, we have this shape that we talked about. This is Tahitian tie 2. This is going to go right down here at the bottom. And then, so we're going to stamp the calendar on here. And then we're going to use this piece to stamp our lifeguard station and die cut it. And then we have this we're going to stamp on our little label. So let's get our stamping done. Let's start by doing this part. So this goes right inside of here, and the measurements for this are 3 inches by 1 5/8. 3 by 1 5/8. What I did, I glued this down pretty good to my work surface. Okay, so June, again, 30 days. We're going to do this again in Azure Afternoon. Oh, no, we're going to do this one in Tahitian Tide to match our card. Tahitian Tide. Okay, so for June, the first Sunday is on the 2nd, and there are 30 days. So you can see how these go. There's a second over here, but that's not 7 days across, so we have to use the one that's over here. So we're going to go here through the 8th, right here, okay? We need to get rid of that 31, so we're going to take that other piece of Post-it tape and mask off the 31. Make sure that sticks really good. All right. And we're going to start with the 2, which is the first one. And go ahead and get that all inked up. I wonder how many years they've had this stamp set for. Okay, let's remove this piece. And we should be good to stamp. Now, this one's got quite a number. How many it has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has like 6 lines to it. All right, we did it. Didn't have to redo it. So that part's done. Let's do the June, and then we're gonna stamp and color our lifeguard station. All right, June. Okay, just a little bit on that, but I'm okay with that. Okay, memento, because we're gonna color with our blends. And this lifeguard station. I haven't left myself much room to work. Okay. Let us stamp that. Look how clean that comes out. It's so nice and crisp for coloring. That's just such a beautiful stamp. All right, let's get some fun colors out. So, all right, let's start with the real red. So I've got dark real red, and I'm going to color the flag in real red. And the little lifeguard life ring, is that what it's called, the life ring? Just these pieces right here. Now you can do your lifeguard station any color you want. Yes, I did color 24 of those for my 24 swaps that I made of this card for on stage. But it actually went pretty fast. All right, let's do crumb cake next, or pecan pie. Let's do pecan pie. Hold on, I'm super dirty here. Must be sticking my fingers in all the stamps. So I'm just going to do the top edge up here. Then I'm going to come down here and do this bottom edge of the railing. I'm going to leave my railings white. This. And then we just have the bottom part left for this. Now, if you start to go outside the lines at all, you can use your color lifter to kind of clean that up. Hopefully I'm not going to have to demonstrate that to you. I'm going to try and stay in the lines as best I can. Okay, next color. Let's do the Tahitian Tide. So I'm going to start with a little bit of dark across the top. And I feel like after you color with these blends, they kind of fade a little bit. Because when I was trying to figure out, after I came home on Sunday, what color I used for this. It didn't look like Tahitian Tide to me. It was Tahitian Tides do dark, and it definitely wasn't any of the other colors that I have, so I wasn't sure what color I colored in. But anyway, that's what we're going with. And then we'll get the light and kind of blend that in a little bit. I normally use the brush tip when I color, but when I started doing the swaps, I started using the other tip, and I really like it. Now I'm using this tip all the time instead. This little blunt bullet tip. It worked out pretty good. Okay, we just have a little bit more coloring to do with this. And then we will die cut. Okay, and let's see. I guess I need to color these two pieces too. I feel like I didn't do that on my display card. There we go. That's how it should be, like that. All right, please excuse me while I finish this card. Because I missed a spot. Okay. All right, so I kind of went with a little bit of light smoky slate in the windows. So this one I'm just going to do the edges because the window's going to cut out. So I'm just coloring the edges here. And then the other ones I'll color in completely. All right, then you get that big die that I showed you, and this just cuts out in your die cut machine, easy breezy. All right, and once it's cut out, this is what it looks like, okay? So it cuts out nice and easy. Now we've got our piece. All right, let's put this together. Let's start with the calendar part. This goes right in the middle, and then we'll pop this up. Oh, wait, which one did I miss a spot on, Renee? Oh my gosh, you're right, that's hilarious. I have to finish that. I can't not do it. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss the spots when I did the 24, but who knows, maybe I did. I don't think so. I seem to remember coloring those. But let me look at the card just to see, did I or didn't I? That would be embarrassing if I didn't on all those cards. Oh my God, look it. Here's one of the cards and I didn't color it. Really? Okay. All right. This June can just go across. All right, this we're going to put up with dimensionals. Now, before I do that, I have one more thing to color. So I'm going to line this up where I want it, and I think I want it right about here. Okay, look at how that shows through the window. What I'm going to do next is take a black marker, a Stampin' Right black marker, and I'm going to kind of mark where the sand and the water are. Okay, that's where we're going to put it. So then we're just going to finish coloring that in. So I'm going to take dark plum cake and dark Tahitian Tide, and we're going to color in the water and the sand. So let me put it back and just take a look here. So you can see when I put it on, this part is going to be water right here. I'm still going to leave the edge white. Okay. All right. And should we do this part right here too? Why not? That's the background, right? Okay, let's do crumb cake for the part that's going to be in the sand. And then we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Okay, well, where's my color lifter? Clearly, I just messed up a couple little things here, so let me just try and lift these up a little bit. Okay, let's put some dimensionals on. So some big ones fit, but then we also need some minis too. So I'm going to start by putting 4 of these on. Put this one kind of down here. Get out my minis. Put a couple. I put one on the flag. Whoops. And then one kind of in this space right here. And then what I did was I just took a dimensional piece, side of the dimensional, and I'm just going to cut it. So I've just got some extra little pieces, just because I don't want the legs to be flapping around. So I'm just cutting a couple of skinny little strips. And I'm just going to cut it in half like this. You don't need much, just a little bit to kind of hold it in place. So I know I'm being really picky about this, but I don't want my legs kind of like flapping around or getting caught on stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of all these little backings. This one does take a couple minutes, right? There's a few steps to this one, but I think it's worth it because it's fun and it's the beach. Now, if you wanted to add other things to this card too, you could. If you wanted to add a beach ball or sand castle or whatever you think looks nice. I didn't want to put too much on it. All right, so we're ready to put this down. Now I want to make sure I'm kind of lining it up with where I had it before. So just like that. All right, palm tree. I'm going to use a glue dot just to attach my 2 palm tree, what are these, palm fronds or palm leaves. So we've got it like this. And I think I can try one more glue dot to attach the trunk. Like that. All right, and then I'm just gonna use some glue. So let me try and get some skinny glue here. Just some dots. And a little bit on the palm fronds. My finger's stuck on that glue dot. Okay, and this guy can go right off over here. Just like that. All right, are we finished? Did we do it? I think we did it. There we go. That is June. Very beachy for sure. All right, you guys. So if you want to get these projects this week, all you have to do is place an order of $35 or more on my website at Stampin' Up! By Saturday the 23rd, and I will send these to you free. You can, here's the host code. It's 3MSEDJVQ. I want to say C, but it's Q. For orders under $150. If you don't want to place an order, but you would like the kits, I do sell them for $20 for the make and takes. You just have to send me an email and say, hey, I would like those. All right. So here's what we did. We have our April, we have our May, we have our June, and I think that looks pretty good. Just a couple reminders. If you place an order of $35 or more, you will also receive March's Sweet Stampin' Friends tutorial. And that is a set of, it's PDFs for 10 different cards. These were all out of the annual catalog this time. This is the one that I did. It's the Carousel Horses, which was one of my favorite sets. I have a lot of favorite sets, don't I? If you would like the instructions for this, they will be in the email tomorrow if you're on my email list. If you're not on my email list, you can just email me and I will just send you the PDF. It's just a project and measurements sheet. It just has the pictures and it has all the measurements. So you can watch the video for instructions. All right. Couple of things. There's new sets out, the Frog and Friends, which is a pretty fun kids kit. You know, they're doing 2 kits a month now, which is great. And Your Day to Shine kit, which I think these are really pretty easy and beautiful cards to put together. So those are the new kits. Here's the new paper pumpkin. This is good through April 11th. It's called Delicate Wings. And for these 3 months, these are April, May, and June, you can get this add-on Thanks and Beyond dies if you would like that. Okay. Also, Last Chance products. This list came out. Some of the things are going on sale. It's a list of all the things that are going to be retired, not carrying over. So there's one for the mini. There's one for the annual catalog. So that starts on the 9th of April if you want to get take advantage of some of those deals or get something that you haven't gotten yet. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I so appreciate you watching. It was great to craft with you all. I'll see you next Tuesday. We'll do something else fun. We're going to do some other, I was thinking of maybe doing the latte next week. I'm not sure. You never know what could happen, but I was kind of leaning in that way. But thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.